The proletariat is right. The proletariat must always be right. And the revolution of the proletariat against oppression must go on forever and forever.
Leon?
And forever.
Leon, I was just reading the encyclopedia.
The heading?
Trotsky, Leon.
Oh, good. It's about me.
No, listen to this. On August 20th, 1940, a Spanish communist named Ramon Mercader smashed a mountain climber's axe into Trotsky's skull in Coyoacán. Trotsky died the next day.
What is the year of that encyclopedia?
2021.
Strange.
Yeah.
But interesting. I am Trotsky.
Yes, dear.
And this is our house in Coyoacán.
Yeah.
And we have a Spanish gardener named Ramon.
Mercader, yep.
Sure there aren't any other Trotskys living in Coyoacán, are there?
Not under that name? I don't think so.
What's the date today?
August 21st, 1940.
Aha! Then I am safe. It says it happened on the 20th, which means it would have happened yesterday. And I'd be dead today with a mountain climbing axe in my skull.
Leon?
With the capitalist press never get things right.
Leon, I think that there's a mountain climber's axe in your skull right now.
Certainly does look like one. And you know, Ramon was in here yesterday telling me about his mountain climbing trip. Now that I think of it, he did have a mountain climbing axe. Did Ramon report to work today? No one is safe. Force must be used. And the revolution of the proletariat against oppression must go on forever and forever.
Leon?
And forever.
Leon, I was just reading the encyclopedia.
Oh, is it the Britannica?
Listen to this. On August 20th, 1940, a Spanish communist named Ramon Mercader smashed a mountain climber's axe into Trotsky's skull in Coyoacán, a suburb of Mexico City. Trotsky died the next day.
Yes, and?
I think that there's a mountain climber's axe in your skull right now.
I knew that! When I was shaving this morning, I noticed the handle sticking out the back of my head. For a moment, I thought it was an ice pick, so at first I was worried.
No, it's not an ice pick.
Don't even say that word. You know my recurring nightmare.
Yes, dear.
About the ice pick that buries itself in my skull.
Yes.
That is why I've forbidden any of the servants to allow ice picks in the house.
Okay.
No one may be seen with an ice pick, especially not Spanish communists.
Leon?
We'll do without ice. We'll drink our liquor neat and a Coca-Cola warm. Who cares if this is Coyoacán in August? Not a bad song title, that. Coyoacán in August. Or we'll get ice, but we just won't pick at it. Ice will be allowed in the house in blocks, but may not be picked or shipped under any circumstances. At least not with ice picks. Ice cube trays will also be allowed, if they've even been invented yet. But it doesn't say anything about ice cube tray in my skull, does it?
No.
Does it?
No.
Ha! I've outsmarted destiny, which is only a capitalist explanation for the status quo.
Okay.
Also,
Leon?
look at this. You know what this is?
No.
This is a skull.
Well, okay, I knew that.
I bought this skull. I own this skull. So what does that make this? Trotsky's skull. So, if any Spanish communist posing as a gardener wants to bury anything in my skull, be it an ice pick, or you know what, or anything else, he'll see the skull, recognize it as my skull, bury something in it, then he'll go his way, and I'll go mine. Isn't that ingenious? 50 more years of Trotsky.
Leon, I have some bad news for you.
A mountain climber's axe. Mountain... Ingenious. Funny. I always thought it was an ice pick.
A mountain climber's axe. A mountain climber's axe. Can't you get that through your skull?
No one is safe. This is very bad news. This is serious.
What is serious, Leon?
I have a mountain climber's axe buried in my skull.
Smashed. Actually, it said Ramon smashed it into your skull, not buried.
All right, what am I going to do?
Well, maybe a hat would cover the handle. You know, one of those cute little alpine hats with a point and a feather.
The encyclopedia says I died today.
21st, that's today.
Does it say what time?
No?
So much for the usefulness of that encyclopedia. Well, I have until midnight at the latest.
What should I tell the cook about supper?
Well, she can forget the soup course. But this man is a gardener.
Yep.
At least he's posing as a gardener.
Yep.
Wouldn't that make him a member of the proletariat?
I'd say so, yeah.
Then what is he doing smashing a mountain climber's axe into my skull?
I don't know. Have you been oppressing him?
Why would Ramon have done this to me?
Well, maybe he's a literalist.
A what?
A literalist. Maybe Ramon went up to Manuel. You know Manuel, the head gardener?
Yes, I know who Manuel is.
I know you know who Manuel is.
One of these days, Miss Trotsky. Ben! Zoomsky to the moonsky.
Anyways, maybe Ramon went up to Manuel and said, "Well, Mr. Trotsky, have time to look at the nasturtiums today?" And maybe Manuel said, "I don't know, axe Mr. Trotsky."
Oh.
Or maybe he was just hot to Trotsky.
Oh, very, very funny.
Or maybe, just maybe, he wanted to pick your brain.
Oh, stop it! Stop it! Call Ramon in here.
Ramon!
Get him quickly. I have a mountain climber's axe in my skull.
Ramon, come quickly, please.
Good morning, Ramon.
Good morning, senor.
Have a seat. See, we have very good employer-employee relations here. Now, Ramon, did you bury this mountain climber's axe into my skull?
I did not bury it, sir. I smashed it into your skull.
Excuse me?
You see, you can still see the handle.
It's true, Leon. The axe is not entirely out of sight.
So we cannot say buried. We can only say smashed or perhaps jammed.
But why? Why do you do this?
I think I read about it in an encyclopedia.
The power of the printed word.
I wanted to use an ice pick, but there weren't any around the house.
But why? Do you realize who I am? Do you realize that you smashed a mountain climber's axe into a major political theorist? I helped run the Russian Revolution. I fought Stalin. Why did you do this? Was it political disaffection? Anti-counter-revolutionary backlash?
Actually, it was love, senor.
It's
No.
true, Leon. I'm sorry you had to find out about it this way.
No!
Yeah.
No, no!
See,
Oh God, what a fool I have been! Come on, why did you really do this?
you will never know, senor Trotsky.
Oh, this is a nightmare.
But luckily for you, your night will soon be over.
All right, Ramon, you may go.
Senor Trotsky,
Yes?
do you think you'll have time to look at the nasturtiums today? They are really very beautiful.
I don't think so, but I'll try.
Thank you. Hasta la vista. Or should I say, buenas noches.
The 21st of August. The day I'm going to die. Interesting. To think that I've gone over so many 21st of August. Like a man walking over his own grave.
It's been wonderful being married to you, Leon.
Thank you, Mr. Trotsky.
Though it was a burden at times, being married to a major historical figure.
I'm sorry I was away from home so often, attending the revolution.
Oh, I understand.
And I'm sorry I had such trouble expressing my emotions.
No,
And
Leon,
I'm sorry I couldn't be more in touch with my feelings.
oh, I haven't been everything I should have been.
Well, it's a little late for regrets with a mountain climber's axe in my skull. So, it wasn't old age, or cancer, or even the ice pick that I feared for years. It was an axe wielded by a Spanish communist posing as a gardener.
couldn't have guessed that, Leon.
So, even an assassin can make the flowers grow. The gardener was false, yet the garden he tended was real. How was I to know that a man tending the nasturtiums would keep me from seeing what the weather will be like tomorrow? How was I to know that I'd never get to see Humphrey Bogart or Ingrid Bergman in Casablanca, which wouldn't be made until 1942, and I would have despised anyway? How was I to know about Zalom, or the 80,000 dead at Hiroshima, or rock and roll, or Gorbachev, or the state of Israel? How was I to know that I'd be erased from the history books of my own land?
But reinstated, at least, partially. Someday.
Sometime, for everyone, there is a room that you go into, and it is the last room you never leave. Or else, there's a room that you go out of, and it's the last room you never leave. This is my last room.
But you aren't even here, Leon.
This desk, these books, that calendar,
You aren't even here, my love.
the sunshine coming through the blinds,
That was yesterday, you're saying. You're in a hospital bed, unconscious.
the flowers in the garden, you standing here.
This was yesterday, you're saying.
What does the entry say? Read it again.
On August 20th, 1940, a Spanish communist named Ramon Mercader smashed a mountain climbers axe into Trotsky's skull in Coyoacan, a suburb of Mexico City. Trotsky died the next day.
It gives you little hope about the world, doesn't it? That a man could have an axe smashed into his skull, yet live on for one whole day. Maybe I'll go look at the nasturtium.